I'll lose my job for clocking in 1 minute late. Hate to do this. Punctuality is a good habit. It shows discipline and commitment. I worked in a warehouse where you had to clock in before your start time. There was a computerized process and you would lose your job if you clocked in late more than twice a year, even if you were only 1 minute late. Now, I pride myself on punctuality, but I was running a bit late for the third time in 10 months. A man's gotta hustle, and I simply called my employer and told him that I was feeling sick and needed to take a day off. My state has paid accrued sick leave. The fallout was that I kept my job. It's been a year since, and I got paid for a full day without working. But you were sick of their moronic rule. Some policies beg to be abused. I had a consulting gig at a company that gave all their salaried employees a 10% bonus if they were on time every day for a week. If you were 1 minute late on one day, you lost the bonus for the entire week. People who knew they were going to be late either called in sick or stopped at the diner for breakfast, then strolled into work an hour late. Our office was on the westbound side of a highway with a grass median. Occasionally someone coming from the west who knew they would be late if they waited at the traffic light would make an illegal left across the median. Our foreman told us once that we weren't getting a raise, but we were getting 2 weeks full pay sick leave, then looked at us and said, "Heard there's a lot of flu about, end of meeting." I really struggle with the mentality that says to sack people for being late twice in a year. How does it benefit the company? Given they'll be losing a trained employee and it will cost then a load of money to recruit someone else, train them up, etc. I know there have to be some rules to stop abuse of the system. But bad weather, crashes, traffic jams, etc. all occur in life and you can't account for every single one of them. That's pretty much what any intelligent person is going to do with such a draconian policy. I worked at a place that had 12-hour shifts, and if you missed a day, it was an occurrence. They divided the shift into 4-hour blocks. So if you missed 4 hours, it was a third of an occurrence. The time clock was set up so that if you punched in up to 7 minutes late, it would roll back to the nearest hour. 7 minutes plus would roll forward to quarter after new, which meant you're late, which meant a third of an occurrence. I pulled in one day and didn't get to the time clock until 8 after, which is when I was informed of this rule. So I told my boss I'd be back in 3 hours and 45 minutes. Since I was getting dinged for a third of an occurrence, I may as well go big. I just forgot to punch in on those days. I worked at a place with a similar policy. You had to clock in and out within a minute of your shift times. So when a shift changed, everyone flooded the punch card thing to race to get it done in time. This inevitably resulted in people punching the wrong cards and caused all kinds of confusion. To solve this, they had a manager sit at the punch card machine to fix all the errors and correct the times for the people they observed being in time but not making it through the rush. So instead of something like changing it to 5 minutes each side of your time, their best solution was pay a manager to watch it and fix it in a 20+ minute process that delayed every single shift change. I had a similar job where it was the same amount of attendance points for being late versus calling out sick. So I used to do the same, or forget to clock in. Whoopsie. Find yourself another job. This is exactly what happens when companies have arbitrary, rigid policies. I took a German class in college where if you walked in late, the professor would grill you. After one of those, I decided I would just skip. The professor got what he wanted, no disruption. I got what I wanted, I passed. Barely. But I didn't learn German and that guy was a dick. Make sure you clock out exactly when you finish, don't work a minute later. I'm never ever late. I'm only sick. We had a line where they struggled with employees who were late at the start of the day. They instituted a rule that if you clocked in even a minute late, you would lose the first half hour of pay. Suddenly, no one was every a minute late, but a surprisingly large number of people were 25 minutes late, resulting in the line being delayed on starting up more often than not. Hurrah for getting what you asked for. I'm wondering if that kind of draconian rule is even legal. Abuse that as much as possible and teach others how to. We have that moronic rule. Up to 2 hours late is half a point. The machine can't tell if you are early. On quiet days I have clocked in an hour early. There was a story in our malicious compliance that was very similar to this, where people started calling out sick to avoid the 5-minute policy. They asked for that one. Sucks to be stupid about rules. Person shrugging light skin tone, person shrugging medium light skin tone, person shrugging medium skin tone, person shrugging medium dark skin tone, person shrugging dark skin tone, person shrugging male sign, person shrugging female sign. That is a horrendous lateness policy. Only in a factory where people are seen as numbers can this even fly. Fuck the man.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Eracast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.